Hey y'all, Tom, ND3N here, and welcome to my shack for another Ham Shack chat. I've got a little injury here, and I wish I could say that it was a result of too much CW. Unfortunately, this is my CW hand, so I don't have that excuse. This time we'll be looking at setting up the IC-718 right back here, and we'll be setting up the rig for CW or Morse code operations, focusing on the transmit side of things. I've got several additional videos talking about CW, and the next one will be CW receive, and will include how to set up the filters for the rig. So be on the lookout for that one. As always, any questions, concerns, or just general remarks can and should be left in the comment section below.
Seeing positive comments was really a surprise.
So we're going to start by talking about making a direct connection to the back of the rig with your keyer. I like using the Vibroplex keyers. As far as I'm concerned, these are the best made keyers out there. They have a variety of them available. You can get a straight key, you can get a bug, you can get the paddles like I just showed you. I gotta warn you, they're not necessarily cheap. You want to plug your keyer right here. This is a 1/4-inch port, and it uses a tip ring sleeve. I've got this adapter here, and plug that in, and now we can move on. Now there's some settings that we have to make, and they are the initial settings. To get to the initial settings, you press and hold the set button, which is right there where my finger is. So press and hold that while turning your rig on. Now your CW tone level is how loud your side tone's going to be. The default is a 50. I leave mine about on 30. Not too loud, not too quiet, but you can adjust for your own comfort level. And we need to pick out our CW paddle type, which is down a bit further. There we go. The CW paddle type is either N for normal or R for reversed. This is handy. In the normal mode, pressing the right key will give you your dash. Pushing the left key will give you your dots. If you're left-handed, you might want to flip those, in which case you would put it in reverse. Or perhaps you're using this rig in a field day sort of situation where you have multiple people coming up. This way, if you have a left-handed person or someone who just prefers to have their dot and dash reversed, you can easily reverse it. To save this, we just turn it off again and turn it on again. And we'll be back in just a moment to discuss some additional settings that you might want to make. Just a quick break to ask you to take a moment to ka-chunk that thumbs up icon and give me a like.
Do you like that one?
And we're back for some additional settings. These are our quick settings. With your rig turned on, press and hold the set button, and that's going to bring you here. You can see I've got my RF power set to 50. That's just so I see some deflection here on the meter when I'm actually keying the rig. And I'll put a link to my dummy load. It's a 300 watt MFJ dummy load, and I find it very useful to have, and I think everybody should have a good dummy load in their shack for doing stuff like this. Everything that I do today, anytime I'm transmitting, I'm going to be transmitting into a dummy load. Now, we're going to start scrolling down, and CW pitch is the first place we're going to go. Now, CW pitch is adjustable from 300 to 900 Hertz with a default of 600 Hertz. Adjusted for your own selections, I like using 800 Hertz, so that's what I've got. Now we go down, we're in our break-in. Right now I have it turned off, but the two active selections where you'll actually be transmitting is SE for semi break-in or FL for full break-in. Mechanical relays have a lifespan. It's based on how many times they can be engaged and disengaged. On full, every time you hit your dot or dash, it's going to cycle that relay. If you're in semi mode, and I'll go back to that, then you can set that up so you can send a full word before it cycles. So it's going to engage, and when you take a little break, it's going to wait a bit before it actually switches over. And you can set that right here using your break-in delay. Now your break-in delay ranges from 2 to 13. The default is 7. At 20 words per minute, I find 4 is a good number. If you're going slower than that, you probably want to increase the number. And if you're going a lot faster, you probably want to decrease that number. That's something for you to play with to find out where your best delay is. Next is our key speed. The internal keyer inside the rig. I have mine currently set for 20, but you can turn it as low as 6 and as high as 60. So I'll put mine back on 20, and that's a good place for me. The key ratio, which is next, if you look at the Morse code specification, they will tell you that a dash is equivalent to 3 dots, or a 3-to-1 ratio. I like my dashes to be just a hair longer, so I have mine set to the equivalent of 3.2 dots. I'm going to come back here to our break-in, remind you that we're in our SE, which is semi-mode. I'm going to press my set. This radio does not have a monitor function, so you actually have to turn your audio frequency up, and that's a demo of the semi. And I'm just going to hit a dot and you'll hear wait. And listen for the relay. Let's go back here and I'm going to set it to full. This is going to hit the relay every time. Now there's one more thing we can do. I'm going to press and hold the set, and we're going to change our break-in to off. This will actually allow you to use your rig as a practice rig. You can see right here, I am not transmitting. So you can use your rig as a practice oscillator to get your fist going. Another quick break to ask your help in getting the word out about this video and some of my other ones to your friends and cohorts in the ham radio community by sharing.
Will you tell your friend?
Especially on any social media sites you might frequent. You can also use your microphone to send Morse code on this particular rig and most Icom rigs. Those two buttons up on top of the microphone become your dot and dash. So we need to go to our CW paddle type, which is in our initial settings. So we press and hold the set button and turn it on. This is CW paddle, and we want to change this to UD. So now we're going to turn off the power, turn it back on. So now we're going to go into our quick sets and we're going to make sure that our break-in is on, and we'll set that at the semi break-in and get out of there, and we'll go ahead and just push the button. And I'm going to slow my speed down here. Key speed, let me take this down to about 12. Now the final way I'm going to show you is by integrating a WinkeyerUSB into the system. Now the Winkeyer, I'm going to go here to the back, and you can see I have plugged my keyer into my Winkeyer, and that's my Winkey actually beeping, and you can see that I am plugged in via USB into my computer. This means that you can use a computer program to generate your Morse code. Now, I want to plug this in here. There's a piece of software where you can determine which one of these 4 plugs you're going to use to actually activate your key. I've got it set for key 1. Now, this is the other end of the wire that is plugged into my key 1, and this is going to go back into our keyer jack. So with the Winkeyer all wired in, now I'm going to shut off the rig, press and hold the set button and turn it back on. And we want to change my CW paddle type to off. And we'll clear that, turn it back on, go into our quick settings. I'm going to start by going to my break-in, turn it off, and we'll get out of here, and I'm going to key this. And you can see that I am making the sound. But the nice thing is I can adjust my speed now right here. I've got that speed button right there, so I can turn it way down, and I'm just going to kind of put it in the middle here. Now let's go back in here, and I'm going to turn my break-in to full. You can use semi or full. It's a very useful tool to have in your shack, especially if you want to send Morse code through something like FL Digi, Ham Radio Deluxe, or any of a number of other software packages where you can send Morse code through that. So you can use your computer through the Winkeyer to send Morse code, or you can just send it straight as I have. You can also program these 4 buttons up on top. So I've got this one programmed to my call sign. And that's also in that little piece of software that I mentioned before. I'll have links to all the software that I've mentioned in the video description. So that was a fairly quick run through of CW with a focus on transmitting. But we're not finished with CW yet. The next video will focus on improving your CW receive using the filters and the DSP to pull in weaker signals. Then there will be another video after that about putting it all together and integrating CAT controls, logging functions, and I'll be using my N3 FJP amateur contact log, and decoding and developing macros with FL Digi. After all of this in place, we'll move on to doing digital modes with the IC-718. So you can see there's going to be a lot more of these how-to videos in the queue. So please remember to comment and let me know what you're looking forward to and make any suggestions. Also, please remember to like and share this video, and please consider subscribing to this channel. I certainly do appreciate it. 73 until the next Hey y'all. As always, I am at your service. This has been a Ham Shack chat about CW receive on the Icom IC-718. I'm Tom, ND3N, and I am out of here.
He's sexy without knowing he's sexy, and that's really sexy.